Dr. R. Hemavati is an assistant professor in mathematics in Queen Mary's, Chennai. She has specialized on functional analysis. Having 12 years of experience in teaching, she has won various awards for her performance. She has published papers in 14 international journals, 3 national journals, and has presented papers in 10 international and in 5 national conferences. She is also one of the editors for an international journal.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. The course is Statistical Methods 1. In the earlier sessions, we have dealt with the various types of random variables, their corresponding probability functions, PMF and PDF, and the cumulative distribution function of x. We have also dealt with some of the problems on discrete random variables, constructing the PMF of x and constructing the probability chart for the discrete random variable, and constructing the cumulative distribution function for the discrete random variable. Proceeding further with discrete random variable, if the random variables are added, how to find out the probability mass function, and dealing with continuous random variables are going to be seen in this session. The outline of the session is based on some discrete random variable and continuous random variable. We are going to see some illustrations where we will be finding the probability mass function of discrete random variables, addition of discrete random variables, multiplication of discrete random variables. And we are also going to deal with continuous random variables and finding the probability density functions and cumulative distribution function of x, which is for continuous random variable. Continuing with the discrete random variable illustration, this is an example of a discrete random variable where you have to find out the probability function of discrete random variables and then addition of discrete random variables and multiplication of discrete random variables. We have to find out the probability function for addition of discrete random variables and multiplication of discrete random variables. So, how the x, y, z, there are 3 discrete random variables being explained here. An experiment consists of 3 independent tosses of a fair coin. When 3 independent tosses of a fair coin happens, what is the sample space we have to see? Then accordingly we have to construct the random variable x, y and z. What is x? X represent the number of heads, y represent number of head runs. What does this head run stands for? Head run is defined as the consecutive occurrence of at least 2 heads. What is the length of head runs? Length of head runs represent the number of heads occurring together in 3 tosses of the coin. Okay. Let us find out the probability function for x, y, z, then x plus y and xy. So, x represent the number of heads. First of all, when 3 tosses of an independent fair coin happens, what is the sample space? First, let me explain what is a sample space. First, let us take the serial number. Sample space S. Okay. Serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, what is that? 7, 8. Because when 3 tosses of the fair coin has 2 options, head and tail. 2 options with 3 coins, you have 2 cube options, that is 8. Okay, that is why serial number 1 to 8. The sample space goes like H, H, H. All the 3 coins showing head, 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 or the 3 tosses means the first toss also shows head, second toss also shows head and third toss also shows head. That is why H, H, H. Second possibilities is H, H, T, then H, T, H. Then H, T, 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 H, H, T, T, H, T, H, T, 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 T. Okay, this represents the sample space. What does x represent? X is defined as number of heads. How many heads are there in these options? For each option, we have the different values of x. Here x number of heads is 3, so x will take the value 3. Here number of heads is 2, so x will take the value 2. Here number of heads is 2, this 2, and here number of head is 1. here 2 heads, therefore 2. Here only one head and there are no heads here, therefore x value is 0. These are the options of x values. Y represent number of head runs. What is head run defined as? Head run is actually the 2 consecutive heads occurring together. 2 consecutive heads occurring together represent the head run. Here the head runs is 2 consecutive head. So only one possibility. If you take this head, you can't count it with another head here. Therefore, there is only one head run here. Okay. And similarly here 2 heads occurring together is only once, 1. There is no 2 heads occurring together, therefore 0. Here also 0, then 1, 2 heads. There is no head run here, no head run here, no head run. So y value is 0. The y takes a value 0 and 1. According to the sample space, it is taking these values. What is Z stands for? Z stands for length of head runs. Length of head runs is when the head runs occurs together, how many heads are there. Okay. So here the head run is HHH, number of heads occurring together is 3. Here HH, number of heads occurring together is 2. There is no head occurring together here, therefore 0. Here also 0. And here it is occurring together, how many heads occurring together? 2. There is no head occurring together here, therefore 0. Here also no head occurring together, there is no head at all, therefore 0. So these are the x, y, z values. Okay. Your x values are 0, 1, 2 and y values are 0 and 1. Okay. And z values are 0, 1, 2, 3. There is no 1 of course, so you can put it as 0. So what is the corresponding probability function for x? X is equal to 0. How many zeros are occurring in this? Only 1 0. Okay. Therefore, corresponding probability is out of 8 options, 0 is occurring only once, therefore 1 by 8. How many 1s are occurring here? 3 1s out of 8 possibilities. Okay. So here 3 by 8. And how many 2s? 3 by 8. X is also taking the value 3. And how many 3s are there? It is 1 by 8. To check whether this is the correct probability function of x, when you add all the probabilities, you should get the total probability as 1. So 1 by 8 plus 3 by 8 plus 3 by 8 plus 1 by 8 gives you total probability as 1, 8 by 8. So this is the PMF of x. Okay, this is PMF of x. Now, how to find out the probability function for y? How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 5 zeros are there out of 8. So, the corresponding P of y is 5 by 8. And how many 1s are there? 3 by 8. This is the probability function for y. What about z? Z is taking the values 0, 1, 2, 3. What is your P of z? P of z is the corresponding probability function for is various z values. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 by 8. How many 1s are there? There is no 1 at all in z. Therefore, it is 0. How many 2s are there? 2 2s. So 2 by 8. How many 3s are there? Only 1 3. So 1 by 8. This is your probability distribution function of z. So we have found out now probability function for x, probability function for y and probability function for z. Okay. Now how to find out the probability function for x plus y? First of all, we have to find out what is your x plus y. X plus y is just addition of the values of x and y. So corresponding rows we will add. 3 plus 1 gives you 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 0. So now with these x plus y values, we have to find out the probability function of x plus y. Various x plus y values is 0, 1, 2, 3 and then 4. So, the corresponding probability function for x plus y is, how many zeros are there? Only one zero. So, 1 by 8. How many ones are there? 3 ones. So, 3 by 8. How many 2s are there? Only 1, 2. Okay. And how many 3s are there? 2 3s. 2 by 8. How many 4s? 1 by 8. This is your probability mass function of x plus y. To check whether it is the probability function, exact probability function, just add 1 plus 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 by 8 total gives you 1. Total probability is 1. Therefore, this is the probability function for x plus y. Okay. Now, the last subdivision you are asked to find out for the probability function for xy. Xy is just multiplying x and y values respectively. 3 into 1, 3, 2 into 1, 2, 0, 0, 2 into 1, 2, then correspondingly you have 0, 0, 0. Okay. So, what is the corresponding probability function for x into y? Write down the various x, y values and count the number of zeros. X, y is taking the value 0, 1, 2. Even if it is not taking 1, you have to write down 1. It should be in order 0, 1, 2, 3. So, the corresponding probability values are P of x, y. How many zeros are there? 5 zeros. So, 5 by 8. There is no 1 at all, therefore 0. How many 2s? 2 by 8, 2 2s, and then 3 is 1 by 8. This is your probability function for x, y. Hence, we have found out the probability function for x separately, y separately, z separately, then addition of two variables x plus y, various values has been listed out, and according to the various values probability function has been found out, and x y, various values of x y is listed out, and corresponding probability function for x y. Okay. Hence, this sum gets over. Continuing the concept of continuous random variable, we shall discuss some illustrations so that to understand the probability concepts of continuous random variable. Okay. Let us now have a small break. Welcome after the break. Before the break, we have seen an illustration of discrete random variable, and we have seen to construct the probability function for addition of two random variables and multiplication of two random variables. Being a descriptive case of a study has been given about the random variables, and we have seen the addition and multiplication and the corresponding construction of probability function. Okay. So, now we will see the continuous random variable concept along with its PDF and how to find out the probability functions for the continuous random variable and how to find out the probability function for continuous random variable along with its PDF. An illustration is given. A continuous random variable has the following PDF: f of x is equal to c x square for 0 less than x less than 1. When x takes the values in an interval 0 to 1, it is obviously a continuous random variable. No need to mention in the question it is continuous also. When x takes the values in an interval, it is automatically a continuous random variable, is equal to 0 otherwise. First of all, you have to evaluate c. Whenever a constant is given in a PDF, first job is to obtain the value of the constant, then only you have to proceed to find out the probability. You are asked to find out p of x less than or equal to 1 by 3, 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1 by 2, and a conditional probability x less than or equal to 1 by 2 given 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. Let us now see the solution. F of x is given to be equal to c x square for 0 less than x less than 1. It is 0 in all the other intervals except 0 to 1. So, using the total probability is 1, minus infinity to plus infinity, f of x dx is equal to 1. We break the interval as minus infinity to 0 f of x dx plus 0 to 1 f of x dx plus 1 to infinity f of x dx, because your f of x is defined only in the interval 0 to 1. In the other two intervals it is defined as 0. 0 otherwise means in all the other intervals except 0 to 1 it is 0. So, minus infinity to 0 f of x is 0. So, 0 dx, 0 to 1 f of x is c x square, right, c x square dx plus in 1 to infinity it is again 0 dx. It is equated to 1 because total probability is 1, which is one of these condition for being a PDF. Okay. Now, we shall integrate this to find out the value of c. Okay. So, 0 to 1 this is 0, these two intervals are 0, c x square is integrated as c into x cube by 3 is equal to 1, c x cube by 3 within the limit 0 to 1 is equal to 1. So, c into 1 by 3 minus 0 is equal to 1. So, c by 3 is equal to 1, c is equal to 3. This c value should be again substituted in the question of where the PDF is given, so that you get a refreshed PDF. Okay. What is your PDF? F of x is equal to c x square. So, now c is substituted as 3, f of x is equal to 3 x square for 0 less than x less than 1 is equal to 0 otherwise. This is now your refreshed PDF where c is being substituted. Going to the second question is you are asked to find out p of x less than or equal to 1 by 3. There is a formula relating probability and the PDF. What is that formula? P of a less than or equal to x less than or equal to b means x is equal to a to x is equal to b f of x dx. Here for when x is continuous, equality does not matter. Even this is the same formula for p of a less than x less than b, same formula. For a less than or equal to x less than b also this is the same formula. Okay. And this is the same formula for a less than x less than or equal to b. All these probabilities we have only the formula as integral x is equal to a to x is equal to b f of x dx. You have to see only the two extremes of x values and correspondingly integrate between lower limit and upper limit the f of x. How to find out p of x less than or equal to 3, where only one upper limit has been given, the other limit of x is not given. When it is not given, it means it is minus infinity. It can be explicitly written as minus infinity less than x less than or equal to 1 by 3. So, the two limits are minus infinity and 1 by 3. You have to integrate your f of x within the limits minus x is equal to minus infinity to x is equal to 1 by 3 f of x dx. But our f of x is defined only for 0 to 1. In all the other intervals it is 0. So, you have to break the interval as minus infinity to 0 f of x dx plus 0 to your upper limit remains the same 1 by 3 f of x dx. In this interval f of x is 0. So, 0 plus 0 to 1 by 3 f of x is 3 x square dx. Integrate this, integrate 3 into x cube by 3 within the limit 0 to 1 by 3. 3 gets cancelled, answer is 1 by 27, 1 by 3 cube. Going to the third subdivision is you are asked to find out p of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1 by 2. Obviously, two limits has been given. So, you can take x is equal to 1 by 3 to x is equal to 1 by 2 f of x dx. That is x is equal to 1 by 3 to x is equal to 1 by 2 f of x is 3 x square dx. Integrate this 3 into x cube by 3 within the limits 1 by 3 to 1 by 2. 3 gets cancelled. So, 1 by 2 cube minus 1 by 3 cube, 1 by 8 minus 1 by 27 gives you 19 by 256. 16. Okay. This is your answer for P of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1 by 2. Fourth subdivision is P of x less than or equal to 1 by 2 given 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. Now, we have seen a conditional probability formula where P of A given B is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Here what is your A event and what is your B event? A is nothing but x is less than or equal to 1 by 2. Your B event is 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. So, apply this P of A given B formula to this, you get this is P of x less than or equal to 1 by 2 given 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3 is equal to P of x less than or equal to 1 by 2 intersection 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3 divided by P of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. We have to find out the numerator value separately and denominator value separately. What does this event stands for? X less than or equal to 1 by 2 intersection 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. We have to draw the graph, then only you can understand what does this intersection stands for. Plot x values here. X value is first of all I will plot 0, then 1 by 3, first 1 by 3 is actually some 0.333 it goes, then 1 by 2 which is 0.5, then 2 by 3 which is 0.67. First is x less than or equal to 1 by 2. What is your x less than or equal to 1 by 2? 1 by 2 stands for the x less than or equal to 1 by 2 is nothing but up to minus infinity. The brown shaded part is your x less than or equal to 1 by 2. This is x less than or equal to 1 by 2. I have shaded the area of x less than or equal to 1 by 2. Next, you have to take the area from 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. What is your area from 1 by 3 rounded? I will round this. This is your area from 1 by 3 to 2 by 3. What is the intersecting part? Common part between x less than or equal to 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3 is this particular part, isn't it? That is 1 by 3 to 1 by 2. Now, explaining it clearly, x less than or equal to 1 by 2 intersection 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3, this area is nothing but 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1 by 2. Going back to your previous slide, x less than or equal to 1 by 2 intersection 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3 gives you, what does this particular event gives you? This is equal to P of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1 by 2. So, now numerator has become like this. And what is your usual denominator? The denominator is P of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. We have to find out these two probabilities separately and substitute to get the answer. Okay. The third subdivision is P of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1 by 2. We have already found out the answer as 19 by 216. So, now the numerator value is available as 19 by 216. You have to find out only the denominator part. Okay. How to find out the denominator part? Denominator part is P of 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. Again, using the concept of probability relation between probability and PDF, x is equal to 1 by 3 to x is equal to 2 by 3 f of x dx. That is x is equal to 1 by 3 to x is equal to 2 by 3 3x square dx. It is integrated as 3x cube by 3 from 1 by 3 to 2 by 3, 3 gets cancelled and you get the answer as 2 by 3 whole cube minus 1 by 3 whole cube, that is 8 by 27 minus 1 by 27 is equal to 7 by 27. Going back to the slides here, you got numerator answer as 19 by 216 and denominator answer just now we got it as 7 by 27. Okay. So, here it is substituted as 7 by 27. So, ultimately what you are having, p of x less than or equal to 1 by 2 given 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3 is equal to 19 by 216 divided by 7 by 27, and simplified answer gives you 19 by 56. We have got the answer for p of x less than or equal to 1 by 2 given 1 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 by 3. So, in this session we have seen a discrete random variable illustration and a continuous random variable illustration. Discrete random variable illustration deals with finding the probability function for addition of two random variables and multiplication of two random variables, and continuous random variable illustration deals with finding a constant value and finding sum of the probabilities value and finding a conditional probability value. Based on the illustration which has been explained in this session, you can do your exercise on your own. A random process gives measurements x between 0 to 1 with PDF. PDF is given as f of x is equal to 12x cube minus 21x square plus 10x for 0 to 1. It is equal to 0 elsewhere. You are asked to find out the probability p of x less than or equal to 1 by 2. How will you find out the probability as p of x less than or equal to 1 by 2? The other limit is not specified, therefore, you can take it as minus infinity. Again break the interval as minus infinity to 0 plus 0 to 1 by 2, and in 0 to 1 by 2 you can substitute this f of x and integrate, get the answer. P of x greater than 1 by 2 can be obtained from p of x less than or equal to 1 by 2 as equal to 1 minus p of x less than or equal to 1 by 2. You are also asked to find out a constant number k such that p of x less than or equal to 1 k is equal to 1 by 2. Integrate from 0 to k f of x dx equated to 1 by 2. First integrate, substitute the limits, you get the expression in terms of k, solve the expression for k is equal to 1 by 2 and find out the value of k. That is your second question. Thank you.